So I was gonna cook some cheese sticks, right? So I preheated the oven to 350 degrees, right? So then I put the cheese sticks out on a pan, and I was about to put the pan in the oven when I was like, how long do I cook these for? And I looked, and it was 450 degrees, not 350 degrees. So I've underheated the oven, but thankfully I didn't put the cheese sticks into the oven. So this could have this could have been avoided. All right, if you had some kind of like genetically engineered like woman, right, who couldn't get pregnant, who and whatnot, and was genetically set up so that way she would want to be with only one person, right? You could have her around the house, and you'd be like, oh, go cook me some dinner, and she'd be like, oh yes sir. Well, no, she's not a robot. She'd be like, oh yes, I'll do that for you, honey. I love you. Oh. No, probably not. Probably not. She probably wouldn't say I love you, because love is, just like a fake thing. Love isn't real. It's just, yeah. So, I'm just like, everything is pissing me off. So now I'm waiting for the oven to get to 450 degrees instead of 350 degrees. Put the cheese sticks into the pan into the refrigerator. Just that way things don't get to it. Like things are getting to me, like there are things getting under my skin, metaphorically. So I'm just having a hard time right now. I see all these pretty girls popping up on my goddamn Instagram feed all the time, trying to lure us into letting our guard down so that way they can just take everything from us all the time. When you can't trick me. You think you can just trick me with your makeup and your pretty hair and shit like that? You can't do that. You want me to just throw my fucking life away just being a wallet with legs for you? We can grow human babies inside of ovaries inside of cows, right? And they use cows because there's more room inside of a cow. People were saying, oh, well, couldn't they? A pig is more genetically closer to a human, blah blah blah. But yeah, pig. You're going to fit like one. That, no, because it's so small. It's small. One baby could fit in there, maybe. But this process would have to, it's being done, and it's done with cows because they grow like 2 or 3 children at a time, you know, because the whole process takes like, you know, long. It takes like, you know, 9 months. You know, so having 3 or 4 different kids and one cow, you know, really increases the viability of the whole process. You know, just out pump out a bunch of kids inside of a cow. Just like a cow giving birth to multiple kids. So I'm itchy. My head is itchy. So I'm just like, motherfucker can't even stand outside of his own home at night. Because I'm a man. If a woman, like I said, if a woman had been standing outside of her own property like that, the cops would have just said, "Oh, a woman outside, isn't she brave? She better get inside. There might be a horrible man out here, and he might rape her or something. Oh, gotta, you know, women are so fragile. Oh no." But no, there is a horrible, hideous man outside. You better fucking send in a SWAT team to, you know, harass that horrible man who's out, you know, who's out just standing outside. You know? How long is it going to take? How long is it going to take before we do this cow thing? Alright? Just start growing more people inside of cows. I mean, they're already doing it, but when will it be mainstream? Alright? It should be mainstream. It should be it should be the most popular thing right now. You know? And then every man gets a woman, you know, for his, that fits his archetype of what he likes, you know. You walk in and you go, oh, well, I would like, you know, an Asian woman, you know, this height, or this weight, and then they're like, okay, sir, we have a couple of Asian women in stock. Let me go get you for you. And they roll her out like on a dolly like thing, and she's in a box, and they're like, oh, do you need help? Her out to your car, and you know, I mean, and then, you know, they just like load her up in the car, and you go home and you open the box and you have to read the instructions and stuff like that. And then, you know, you know, like there's like a needle, and you like inject her, and she wakes up, and then she's like, oh, what can I do for you, sir? You know, and you go, oh, call me Rob, and she goes, I will call you Rob. And you know, I'm making her kind of sound like a robot, but at this point they'd be genetically engineered to be around that type of intelligence. So then they could just go and they would just cook dinner for you, and then, you know, be pretty and stuff like that, you know? It's just bad. So, I don't know. I didn't burn my cheese sticks. I hadn't start my the oven was down too low. It was on 350 degrees instead of 450 degrees. I didn't burn anything. I just didn't preheat the oven to the right temperature. And the issue is bigger than that. The issue is that they're trying to is that there are women who claim that all men are like a danger to the whole entire world. Like, oh, men need to have a curfew so that way there's not men walking around at night. That way we can save. So that way we can we're gonna get raped and all this other stuff. So it's like never it's always dude's fault, right? It's never like, oh, you know, don't put yourself in a dangerous environment. Don't be walking by yourself in a parking garage in the middle of the night where, it's not your fault if something like that happens to you, but the buddy system, have a friend with you or something. Don't blame every single man in the world because there's a couple of dickheads. You know, there are women saying that, oh, there has to be a curfew for men, and you know, they're, oh, I'm afraid to take my daughter out because some guy could be looking at her in a sexual way and all this other crap. That was what I was talking about, and then right after I got done talking about that, I had somebody call the cops on me for standing outside. And for a fact that if a woman was standing out in front of a building at 9:30 at night, that nobody would call the fucking cops on her. They'd just say, a woman standing outside. But it's a man. There was a man standing outside, so obviously he was doing something wrong. No, I just wanted because I needed to breathe because I felt like society and all this social justice warrior bullshit was life out of me. It was like everywhere you go, everything you do, there's someone who has some kind of problem with what you're doing and why what you're doing makes you literally worse than Hitler and all this other fucking bullshit. So you know, I mean, just because I got a pair of hairy hangers hanging between my legs, I get blamed for everything that every other guy does. You know, so it's fucking ridiculous. Damn well know if a woman had stood outside on the sidewalk ish at 9:30 at night that nobody would have been calling the fucking cops on her. So nights like this, I wonder why certain people are so obsessed with getting laid and shit like that. Women are horrible. So I'm just like, I should be able to stand outside of my own fucking building at night without having some call a cop on me because I'm male. So I don't know. So I don't. You know, people are posting kitty photos, but it's a girl kitty. But girl kitties are okay, I guess. Can you? I say screw the right closet. Kissy, kissy, kissy. Quote mine and me. Kitty. Mr. Kitty.